Hi, it's me, Jamie, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to post a review or another review about my experience with Instacart. If you didn't watch my previous video, I had posted about kind of my first shift doing Instacart. And now I've done a couple of shifts. I've been working for Instacart for about 6 weeks. Not consistently though. I'm not putting in full-time hours. I'm not doing anything like that. But I have been doing it for about 6 weeks now, and I kind of feel like I have a good feel on the company or how they run, how the area works where I live, so on and so forth. And so I kind of feel like I have my feet wet a little bit, enough that I can give a review for people that are interested, in looking into Instacart or maybe having the same situation as me or, something along those lines. So before I start with that, something I didn't talk much about in my last video was why I started to do Instacart. I've been in the corporate world for 15 years or so. The better part of that has been in property management, generally on-site property management. Some of it has been in a call center type situation. Others have been from home. So that's kind of my background, is sales, hospitality, multifamily property management, etc. The reason I started working for Instacart was because in early February, I was laid off from my most recent job. I was working for a startup company doing something similar to property management. They own a company that allows you to go view rental homes without having to have a leasing agent or a realtor there with you. So it's all text-based, and you get a code and you go in and view. It's similar to like an open door and offer pad type of thing, but for single family rentals. So that's what I was doing. It was a small startup company, and they had to let me go due to lack of company growth. So to the very nice person who commented on my last video that I should get a real job, FYI, I have had a real job, and I was just doing this to try and hustle because I have a family and a couple of children. And yes, my husband is our main provider income-wise, but I wanted to do something to pull my weight as well while I was looking for a quote-unquote real job. So before you go out and hate, maybe you should kind of figure out what's going on in that person's life before you go throwing shade at them. With that said, moving right along. So that's kind of why I got into Instacart. I also signed up to be a WAG dog walker, and I also signed up to be a VIP kid English teacher. Way back 100 million years ago, in about 2005, I went to South Korea to teach English to Korean children. So I did get hired on pretty quickly with VIP Kid. I also have a bachelor's degree. So, but I would appreciate some feedback if you guys want to see an update video or a feedback or review video about WAG or VIP Kid. I would love to post something like that as well. So if you think you'd like to see it, comment below or subscribe and let me know, and I'll make some more videos. Anyway, so in the 6 weeks or so that I have been on with Instacart, my area, I live in the far northwest valley of Phoenix. I live technically in Sun City, but I'm really close to the border of like northwest Peoria. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the area or don't live here, that's kind of where I live. Or for the people who are familiar with Phoenix, I am in the far northwest valley in Peoria. So my zones were Scottsdale, Cave Creek, Peoria, Goodyear, Mesa, Tempe, and Queen Creek, excuse me. So obviously, no offense to Instacart or anybody who drives a long way to get into their zone, I am not going to drive to Queen Creek to be in a zone to shop for Instacart in the hopes that I might get an order. So with that being said, I would always, when I would choose my hours, I would basically choose Cave Creek, Peoria, or sometimes Goodyear. The way their situations work with their zones, I mentioned it before in my previous video, I don't think that the people who are creating the boundaries for the zones know much about these areas, or areas anywhere that they aren't really, because like Cave Creek, my grocery store, which is in Peoria, is the Fry's at the corner of Lake Pleasant and Happy Valley. And that has a Peoria address, yet it is in the Cave Creek zone. So if I wanted to try and get batches for the Fry's, my Fry's, I would have to pick up a shift for Cave Creek. However, there would be the chance that I would get a batch somewhere way in Cave Creek if I wanted to just hang out at that my grocery store. It wouldn't be doing me a good service. So periodically I would go do that, but I didn't have anything to do. If I wasn't grocery shopping or doing something, I don't really want to sit in the parking lot of a grocery store. Maybe that's lazy, or maybe that's not hustling as much. I don't know, but anyway, I would mostly do Peoria zones, and I would pick up usually about 4 hours at a time. Here's why. I would say about 90% of the time that I schedule myself to work, I am I'm given that pop-up on the app that says, do you want to leave early with no penalty? Because there's either too many shoppers signed into that zone, or there's not enough buyers, I suppose. So constantly being asked to leave early, constantly. So I just kind of feel like it's not really a waste of my time, especially if I'm logged into the Peoria zone. I can just sit at my house. So most of the time as I would log in, I'd sit at my house and do things and wait for the little alarm to say you have a batch. In 6 weeks and probably 15 shifts, maybe, I have had 2 batches. 2. So it's very discouraging. I know that the Target right up here by me at Lake Pleasant and Happy Valley, they do not participate with Instacart. They participate with Shipt. I had tried to get on with them, but got declined. They said there was too many shoppers in my area. So, so it's really extremely discouraging to log in and never get a pickup. Never. Like, I got one pickup not too far from me, but it sent me to a grocery store. It sent me to a Fry's, but it sent me to a Fry's like not close to me and not close to the person I was shopping for. So I don't know, I don't really get how they figure that stuff out. But and then I also got a pickup out in Surprise. So and it was fun while I did it. Like, it was great. I didn't have huge orders. It was easy. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to get any substitutions or anything like that. But I really enjoyed it, and I really wish I could have done it more. But I sadly I couldn't stop looking for a real job, I suppose. So I have since gone back to work full time. And I will schedule myself on my 2 days off. For instance, I have a shift coming up in an hour and a half for, I think, 2 hours. I think I just picked up 2 hours tonight. But I would say I'm probably 95% certain that I'm gonna get asked to leave early because it's a slow night or too many Instacart shoppers. So that's my feedback. I haven't had any problems. I haven't had any need to contact support or anything of that nature. So I don't have any feedback really on the company itself, other than the fact that there just isn't a whole lot going on, I guess, in my area, or there's a lot of shoppers. I don't know. But needless to say, I probably will not be continuing on as an Instacart shopper. A, now that I'm back to work full time, and B, because it's just sort of a waste of my time, I guess. So that's that. If you have any questions, you have any comments, comment below, click the little subscribe button. I'm trying to get this started any way I can. I do love working. I'm back in semi-property management, sort of. Not fully back on site. I don't really want to be back on site, but I do a lot of things on the side. Mary Kay, I'm a photographer. I try to do anything. I would love to be able to not have to physically go into an office and kind of make my own hours and do that stuff. So I try to kind of hustle as much as I can. I also get very bored with one thing. I'm Sagittarius. I don't know if that matters or what, but yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, as the song, it's a song? The song says, I don't know. But yeah, so look for a review of WAG and a review of VIP Kid. WAG, positive; VIP Kid, not so positive review. So if you're thinking of joining them, or you're thinking of doing something along that line, make sure that you watch those upcoming videos. All right, I hope you all have the most amazing weekend possible. It's Friday. It's hot here already, so enjoy it, make the most of it, hug the ones you love, and give them just smooches, ugly, sloppy, nasty smooches, because they deserve it, and you deserve to have a wonderful weekend. So until I see you again, bye!